Hello, hello. So day 12 of Moon 1. My name's Ollie, this is Red Sun Horizons. I'm an Eastern Physiotherapies practitioner from the south of England. So we are going through every day, one by one, from the Lunar Tao by Denming Dao. This is a look at every single day of the lunar calendar year according to Chinese tradition, and looking at all the practices that are practiced in China that come from Taoist, and obviously there will be some integrated Confucian and Buddhist bits in there. But the oldest of all of them is Taoism. It came long before Buddhism came from India, and long before Confucius was born. So the title for today is Friendship. And so if you recall, so the last 3 days, so the 10th, 11th and 12th, are days where you would invite friends to eat. Invite friends around for a meal and that kind of thing. So the final of those 3 days in this book is titled Friendship. It's very much a story. It's quite a famous story in China. It's the first time I've read it or heard it, but apparently there are slight variations, but I'll read you this one. Okay, so this is date-wise, so obviously this is BCE, before Christ, etc. So it does go backwards, so it's always, yeah. So during the spring and autumn period of 770 all the way up to 476 BCE, a diplomat named Bo Ya travelled on a mission near present-day Wuhan. When he stopped for the night, he took up his qin, which is a 7-string instrument, and he played freely, thinking of the sacred mountain Taishan. A poor woodcutter named Zhong Ziqi chanced by and commented, "How splendidly you play, lofty and majestic as Taishan." When Boya played more, Zhong Ziqi said, "How splendidly you play, like flowing waters." Although the two men were of different classes and from different countries, a great friendship began. Each year, when Boya's duties brought him back again, he met Zhong Ziqi and played the qin for him. One year, Boya returned, but his friend did not meet him. Zhong Ziqi had starved to death. As a wealthy diplomat, Boya knew that he could have saved the poor woodcutter, but he saw that Zhong Ziqi had refused to exploit their friendship. Despondent, Boya smashed his instrument and declared that he would never play again, since there was no one left who could truly hear his song. So, yeah, it's obviously it's initially at its roots it's a story about friendship of two like minds meeting, or two minds of different pathways that integrate at one specific event or cause. But back then, obviously, things like class and all that kind of stuff were. So yes, but there is that question. Obviously, he could have helped, but should he have, if Zhong Ziqi wouldn't have accepted all in the first place, etc. There is one other bit I wanted to read from this page. So, whether you're a ruler of a country or an ordinary person, it is important to find someone whom you trust to tell you the truth. It's equally important that each of us be good enough a friend to be truthful with those who give us their trust. Okay, so in a similar vein, and it kind of expands or makes a little bit more of a whole thing. So number 13 from the Tao Te Ching. So, success is as dangerous as failure. Hope is as hollow as fear. What does it mean that success is as dangerous as failure? Whether you go up the ladder or down it, your position is shaky. When you stand with your 2 feet on the ground, you will always keep your balance. What does it mean that hope is as hollow as fear? Hope and fear are both phantoms that arise from thinking of the self. When we don't see the self as self, what do we have to fear? See the world as yourself, having faith in the way things are. Love the world as yourself, then you can care for all things. So again, it's tying to that element of friendship, but compassion again. So it's compassion for everyone and all things, because think of everything as yourself. Ultimately, we are all under a microscope, and energetically, etc., we're all intertangled, and we're all part of the same consciousness. Even if we have different physical forms, we are living through or experiencing. So that's very brief. Yeah, it's a little bit of a late post today. It is my partner's 50th today, so I have been kind of getting things ready and running around and getting to the shops and getting some last minute bits and stuff. So bits on friendship we did cover yesterday. I think we already covered 639 Hertz, which is a nice one, and it is very much believed to be around the element of relationships, interpersonal relationships, and again, you know, looking at things like, obviously in that story there is an element of grief, you know, so 639 is that kind of relationship thing. So if you've lost someone as well, and you kind of have unfinished things, it's going to have an effect. So 639 is very much affiliated with the heart chakra in the Vedic chakra system. So that kind of thing playing in front of the heart area can be useful for a tool. This is always what I'm trying to add and trying to give concepts of or ideas towards. There is also I also use a weighted tuning fork. So the difference between the two, obviously, so a standard tuning fork is, as you would see in any kind of tuning fork that is used for the alphabetical tuning of violin, string instruments, etc., for orchestral pieces. And the other is where it has these two weights on the end. You can literally with an Allen key take them off, but the purpose of the weights is to keep, so as you strike something, obviously you create a force. Normally with this, obviously the reason you can hear it is because those vibrations are moving centrifugally outwards from, or away from the center, centrifugal, outwards from the point of contact, and that is why you can hear it. However, when you put the weights on that, it kind of does the opposite. It stops that from coming out. It actually means they vibrate for longer, but the vibrations then kind of travel through the metal, and you place that on the points. So if you were doing it on the arm, etc., you can get tuning forks like these, or you can get like ones with little crystal quartz, because quartz transmutes and projects and amplifies, so you can place that on. And some forks are less specific, like 174 is very good for pain relief. So if you have a 174 tuning fork with weights on, and you can place that around points that are painful, like neuropathy sort of type stuff, it is a temporary fix, though it's not the real fix of where the pain's coming from and everything else, which is much more my area of what I try to do, which is looking at the root causes of things, rather than just the allopathic pain relief. Pain relief is great if there's something you can't fix, or if it's not, you know, if there is no fix for it currently. But yes, things like arthritis with osteoarthritis, there's no real way to grow back cartilage or bone at the moment, but you can, through electroacupuncture, take the pain away for anywhere up to a month, etc. So, tuning forks, and nice easy one. As I have said before, I work in a crystal shop as my part-time job as well, which kind of is just the predictable income thing. But I like working there, and I love crystals, obviously, so it's a good place for me to be, surrounded by like-minded people, holistics, all that kind of stuff. So people do come in, obviously, and it's always like I'm looking for a present for my friend, etc., or partner, all that kind of stuff. So we are always giving suggestions on what they can do, but ultimately the best suggestion is always, you know, you know them more than we do, so pick what resonates with you. What do you think, you know, even if you're not sure what they like, what says you more than anything else. Failing that, if people really don't know, the easiest and the quickest and the most reliable one is rose quartz. So it's pretty abundant. It's you can find it in any crystal shop you go to. Rose quartz is very much that symbol of friendship, but also of self-love and compassion. There are obviously numerous other, and pink is very much tied to the heart chakra, as is green. Some people believe this is more the feminine of the heart, and then the green is more the masculine. Take from that what you will. But green stones can also be more to do with like luck and everything else. But when you're talking about kind of more the love and friendship side of things, and self-love, self-compassion, etc., pink is kind of always the one that comes to mind. That's from the chakra system. But pink you would also use for the heart in the Taoist system as well. So the heart is the mind, and the heart is very much governed by the colour red. The lung is white, so the lung meridian that runs down through here into the thumb and the large intestine, which run also along this way, is governed by the colour white, and they are very much affected by grief, as is the heart. So you can use white stones for grief. So obviously I kind of threw grief in here because we are talking about the original story where one of them died. So so red and white combined make pink. So pink stones, as well as being a symbolization of friendship and there to kind of help yourself with self-love, self-forgiveness, etc., but also grief, pink stones. Whether that's pink calcite is a quite nice one for, it's a very softer energy than say quartz, or you can go harder than quartz with something like morganite. You've got numerous other pink stones as well, like rhodochrosite, rhodonite, etc. However, one that's just jumped into my head, but now it's gone out of my head because I can't think of the name. But anyway, pardon me again. Yes, rose quartz is a nice one. So I do seem to keep like having burps whenever I do this for some reason, but today especially. So I've been on a keto diet for all of the month, but the last sort of 3-4 days of the month I am now going back to kind of eating anything, and then beginning of next month, i.e. tomorrow, I'll be going back into keto again. So three weeks of keto followed by 48-hour fast, break back in with keto, and then the last 4 to 5 days of the month just eat whatever. So it's not a forever removal of things like potatoes, etc. But today is my partner's birthday, and I went and spent a stupid amount of money on cake, and we literally had cake for breakfast, and probably going to be the same for lunch and dinner as well. So yeah, there's something going on with the gut at the moment. Okay, so that is everything for today, and tomorrow is the 1st of the month for the Roman calendar. It's the 1st of March, but tomorrow will be the 13th day of Moon 1, so a very different system and very different subjects. Tomorrow is on warrior loyalty, and it's very much about Guan Yu, who they named the Guandao weapon after. So that's everything for today. I will see you tomorrow.